To create a knitted ladder, we start by casting on sections of needles using the E-wrap technique. Here I will cast on 3 needles on the left and 3 needles on the right. You can choose to cast on any needles as long as there is a gap in the middle. E-wrap your chosen needles on the left. Carry the yarn under the empty needles, then E-wrap the needles on the right. Remember to keep checking the yarn isn't wrapped too tight. Pull up on the stitches to loosen them slightly. Now knit your first row, laying the yarn over the needle from right to left, lifting the back stitch over the front piece of yarn and off the end of the needle. When you get to the empty needles, carry the yarn underneath. Then continue knitting the needles on the left. Carry on knitting rows left to right and right to left. Adjust the needles you've cast on, taking the yarn under the empty needles. When you have knitted about 4 to 6 rows, you can hang your weights onto your knitting. Hang the weights on the knitted parts and not on the yarn under the empty needles. Remove the end of the yarn stuck to the table. Continue knitting as desired. To cast off a ladder, make sure you have ended your knitting on the left. As you usually do casting off, move the first stitch on the left to the needle next to it. You now have 2 stitches on one needle. Lay the yarn over this needle from left to right. Lift the back 2 stitches over the yarn and off the end of the needle. Continue casting off stitches in this way across the needle bed. When you reach the last stitch before the gap, pull on it so you create a large loop. Place this large stitch on the first needle with a stitch on the right. Carry the yarn under the empty needles and continue casting off as usual. Cut the yarn, put the end through the last loop and pull up tight to finish. You've knitted a ladder. To create multiple ladders in your knitting, cast on more blocks of needles with empty needles in between. Multiple ladders.